Much anticipated matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Super Bowl 37.
They couldn't catch another shit. Cannons like the lotus, so it's time to flip the script. Cruising through the bay on that Buccaneer battleship, sold up, screaming out, so Buck, what you heard? So Buck, what you heard? So Buck, what you heard? So Buck, what you heard?
All right, everybody, welcome back to Buck What You Heard, the playoff edition of Buck What You Heard.
And the only playoff edition as we were talking about pre-show.
Exactly. And I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, KB, Ken Barrett, not to be mistaken for Shaq Barrett. How you doing, my brother?
Good. My buddy Shaq just got cleared from COVID today, so I'm doing it extra well.
Life is good, man. And to all the people out there that, you know, we're talking about Shaq hasn't done anything and he's been missing in action. I think him not playing last week, you could tell a difference with him not being on the field. Could you not?
Yeah. Yeah. Him and JPP are a tandem. Like, I love JPP to death, but they need each other.
Yeah, they do. They really do, man. So, playoffs. Let's talk about
playoffs. We're talking about playoffs.
So before we get into that, man, I want to ask you, what was the most defining moment when you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game 1 through 17 or 1 through 16, excuse me. What was the most defining moment for you when it comes to this team and what they've done? What game stood out to you where you're like, okay, I get it?
If you told me that what game encapsulated the season, I would probably say the Chargers.
We're speaking the same language.
Defense isn't there yet. Like, they've shown before and after some very high highs, but for the most part, they've been in this, like, you know, medium zone, not high, not terrible, but, you know, they do the job, but they give up some points every now and then. And then the offense, when they needed to, click.
Yeah. Mr. Everything Buck says it was the Green Bay game. I'm going to agree with you with the Chargers game. When the Bucs went down 17, I was like, fuck, here we go again.
You're a rookie, like such a Bucs life. Yeah.
And so I was like, man, wait a minute. This can't be right. This can't be happening. And then you saw that 2-minute drill. That 2-minute drill was a work of art. And it was at that moment, and then the way they played in the second half, and they just put it all together. You could see where they still were missing each other, but you could just tell when you looked at that game, if they could put this all together, that'll be a monster to stop.
That's what I mean. Like, the Packers game to me is the potential.
Right.
That is the high of what this team is capable of, and we've seen that. New Orleans, it can be pretty darn low too. So, you know, if we just stay at that Chargers level, like, I'm going to be happy, and I think they're going to at least win a couple games because that's the goal. It's 4 games.
Yeah. Yep. And there you go. There you go. I've been waiting for this, man. And I've been waiting for this for years, man, just to be able to talk about something besides mock drafts and free agency and all this other stuff. It's kind of cool to kind of break this down. And, you know, what were your takeaways from the Atlanta Falcons game? I know, and please understand, folks, the Buccaneers had no choice in who they faced after the bye, but they went out and beat everybody they faced after the bye. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, I mean, from everything I read, the Bucs have had the toughest schedule of any team in the season. And yes, they had a really tough stretch where they went 1-3. But, you know, I'd rather them be 1-3 during the season than lose a playoff game. Like, they're streaking at the right time. But I think what the Falcons game showed you is this offense is clicking. Like, Atlanta just came off a great game against
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Everything that they had. both offensively, defensively, and I would say special teams until the Young Wei Koo miss.
Yeah.
Like everything was just, on perfect realm for them. They tried blitzing us on Sunday, didn't get there. They tried playing man, didn't work. Played zone, didn't work. AB showed up. Mike Evans set a historic mark, better than Ricky Moss,
And scared the daylights out of everybody in Bucks Nation.
which I don't know how he didn't have any damage. Let's talk about that for a hot second. Like this guy.
So you as a football player, you a former football player, when you stretch before a game, what was your routine like stretching out before a game? Because
Dynamic. I cannot do any static stretching because of that. It causes you to have a better chance of like shit like that happening to you.
really?
Oh yeah, no. Even to this day, before like lifting or anything, it's all dynamic stretches, and I'll do static stretches after. But like you want the blood flowing, you want quick movement, twitch movements. You don't want to hold anything for 30, 40 seconds.
Wow, I didn't know that. And do you have like strength and conditioning coaches that are out there with you? And
they run everything.
They're basically, hey, this is what you need to do.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, just that. And I've watched the video because you listen. If I see a person get injured or like the Dak Prescott injury, I got physically sick when I saw that. And after that, hold on, we got a caller. Hold on one second. Let me see if we can get this caller on here. All right, let's see if we can do this. You are live on Buck What You Heard. Who am I talking with?
Oh, boys, it's playoff time. What up, boys? Byron, what's good?
What's going on, Byron? you sound better than you did last week, man.
Hey, because the week is here. Hey, Bucks fans, let's go, man. 13 years for the making. Let's get this work. We want all the smoke this week.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to you, boys. I'm glad y'all on tonight. Hey, it's a part of my weekly routine, so I had to call in and say what up.
We appreciate you too, man.
Hey, man, all I got to say is I have no concerns about this game except for one concern.
Don't say it's young.
I think we all can agree on it. Donovan Smith, I need you to play as hard as you've ever played before a day in your life. Donovan Smith, if you listen to this show and this podcast, please, sir, be a dog on Saturday night. Be that dog I saw you were last season when you ran into the end zone and you got that flag when you cracked that dude so hard. I need that Donovan Smith to show up, because if that Donovan Smith shows up and Brady is upright, I have no concern with Tristan Wirfs and Sweat on the other side. I ain't worried about it. T. Wirfs has shown me nothing but greatness this season.
Yeah.
But man,
Tristan Wirfs
right now, D. Smith, you have got to show up because business is booming. I'm going to be honest. AB's out here doing work. I think Mike can probably sit this one out if, depending on how the flow go. But boys, man, my biggest concern and my biggest worry is Donovan Smith, boys. That's what I got.
Let me say this to kind of ease your mind there a little bit. When I look at this offense now, it looks nothing like what we saw earlier in the year. The motion is there. Some of the plays, I mean, I think Mike Evans was running I don't know, was that a drag route that he was running when he got the 1,000, or was that a?
I think it was a slant, but same difference.
Yeah, it was a slant. It was a slant.
That,
yeah, I think it was a slant. And, they're doing stuff that they weren't doing at the beginning of the season. And I really don't believe we've seen everything that this offense is capable of doing. I still don't even think they've come close to reaching their ceiling yet. So I want you to keep that in mind, how fast they're getting the ball out. And we didn't see enough of Rojo. I think you're going to see more Rojo. And I think that's plays to Donovan Smith's strengths right there, is that the run blocking. And, according to Pro Football Focus, they rate all this stuff. And I've gone back and looked at some things, and Donovan Smith has been out there, doing his thing with run blocking. So it's that pass protection.
Oh yeah,
that struggle.
Him and Jensen, some dogs when they come to that rush, man. They get up that field and push for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's just one of those things we've all seen him just be so good and so great sometimes.
Mhm.
And then when Donovan Smith has a bad game, it is a
really
bad game. Remember that Chicago game where Brady looked over at Mac and was just like, "Damn, you here again?" Like it's like that, man. But I think we should all be a little excited. I mean, not trying to look forward or ahead, but the Green Bay game, that's definitely one that hopefully if there ain't no snow up there, we should be all right too. But
Hey,
bro,
the Bucs could host a game next week.
You got Tom, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's still a possibility for the Bucs to even host a playoff game. They may not even have to play the Packers first. If one of the lower seeds wins, they'd play the Saints, most likely, assuming. But
is that right? That's right.
Yeah.
I also read something where if Chicago were to win and somebody else were to win, I think the Rams were to win, we'd host the next playoff game.
We would host the Rams and the Packers would play the Bears.
Oh wow.
But that would require 3 upsets of lower seeds, which generally doesn't happen. Only the Ravens and the Bucs are the only underdogs in terms of seeding that are favored to win.
Wow.
So,
fellas, what a time to be alive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, let me get your final thoughts, man. I mean, what are your thoughts? Let me get a score. What's your score prediction for this weekend?
35-17 Bucs. I feel like the first quarter is going to tell the game. And I feel like with the way this offense is clicking, we get it out quick enough, like you said. They're starting to show plays that they didn't, show before. We kind of talked about that last week. It's just one of those things where I think if this offense comes out and just starts rolling in the first quarter pretty well, I think it's 35-17. I think we might give up a touchdown or two just off the fact that sometimes we get a little lazy in the secondary. But outside of that, man, I think this is one of those games where we should be able to take care of business and then rest up, and then Devin White get back and things start to get a little better. So I think I got 35-17. I'm a little confident, man. As long as Donovan Smith stay upright, bro, we all right.
Yeah, that's there you go, man. So win or lose, man, be sure to call us back next week.
Hey, I got you, man. It's one love. Hey, I appreciate you both, boys.
Right.
Stay blessed. Stay safe out here. And, hey, go Bucs, family. Let's go.
That's right, my man Byron. All right. So
speaking of Byron, man, how about my boy Byron Leftwich? Do I have to start an apology tour?
You may have to, man. And I
will start one.
I'll contribute a little bit because I did slander him just a little.
Oh yeah, no, not like me, but man, I can only take
another call. Hold on one second.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, you are live on Buck What You Heard. Who am I speaking with?
You know who this is? What's up, boy?
What's going on, man? Good.
It's a school game.
Well, how you doing, man?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
I love it. I'm loving it, man. Man, did you hear what Chase Young said to Tom Brady? What's your take on that?
I don't really care, man. He's he's 21 years old, man. He's just out there. He's excited to be into the playoffs. It's just, it's something to talk about. It's not for me. I don't care. He's got to go out and show what he can do. And that's pretty much how I look at it, man. Are you
worried about the Washington defense, man? Are you guys worried about the Washington front seven? That's pretty nasty, man.
When I'm looking at this offense, man, when this offense is clicking,
so if we have the Mike Evans, are we in trouble?
You've got 3 number 1 receivers in AB. You've got Chris Godwin, and then you've got Mike Evans. And we've seen
if Mike Evans don't play, are we in trouble?
No, not even a little bit. I mean, look at your tight. We haven't even discussed the tight ends either. I mean, again, there's so much to go around, man. It's just I don't know. I just don't see
2 quarterbacks on the Washington offense. I heard they released 2 quarterbacks this week. Are we worried about the 2 quarterbacks? I heard they're going to play, and both of them and then out. Was that going to confuse us?
No, and that's one of those things. The Washington football team is not built to play ahead. They're more of a team that they just if it's a close game, then they're good. But if it's a game where they're playing from behind, I don't know. I just don't see it. What about you, KB?
I mean, I heard they used 2 quarterbacks this week.
Yeah, and that's extremely possible. But again, it's one of those things, man. We've seen what Washington has done throughout the season. We saw this last game, and I felt like the Washington didn't even want that game the way they played it.
Yeah, you're right. But Eagles. Hey, I got a question for you. Do you think the Eagles lost that game on purpose? Said the Eagles tanking, the Giants should have won that because the Giants won in the beginning. The Giants are upset because Eagles should have won.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't ever like calling stuff like that. If they did, they did. But this is about the Bucs, man, and that's what we're here to talk about. Talk about the Bucs.
I know. Let's go talk about the Bucs, man. Yeah, man. The Bucs defense, man. Are you worried about no Devin White this week? Because Shaq Barrett's going to play, right? Is Shaq Barrett playing?
Yep, Shaq he's out of COVID protocol. Devin White is out. He's officially out, correct, KB?
Yes.
He's officially out. So, it's next man up. Kevin Minter. I didn't have a problem. And you know what? I didn't have a problem with Kevin Minter last week. I thought, that's why the Bucs brought him back. And I thought it was a very smart move to bring one of the smarter free agency moves that never gets talked about, because he came up and he came in at the right time.
Hey, I got a question for what the Bucs signing that is running back. I didn't understand that signing right here.
What's that?
Bucs signing that running back. CJ Mosley.
Pro size. He's from Seattle.
Oh, okay.
To the practice squad.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we signed him.
Practice squad player.
Yeah, so they're just filling up spaces in the practice.
He might even be playing Antonio Gibson and scout team. Is probably, if I had to say what he's probably doing, it's probably that.
Yeah. So, well, dude, Eric, what was your? Let me get your final thoughts, man. We can get some more people on the phone here.
Okay, man. The Bucs. I think Tom Brady will have a good game. I don't think Tom Brady's worried about Chase Young. You better not ask what you wish for.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think Tom Brady's even sweating that dude, man. I mean, he's got other things to worry about.
Yeah, but look at this. You think Tom Brady able to see it, Mike? Because last time primetime games, he couldn't even see this, but that was those interceptions. You think that's the problem? Because you can't see no time.
What was the question?
Well,
what was the question?
You think Tom Brady can't see at night because he's been on prime time? You think he's going to struggle because he's been struggling on prime time for us? Struggling.
No, I don't see that being a problem personally. I think that's just like the Bucs playing in cold weather. They finally beat that curse and got that monkey off their back. They were fine. I think they just need to go out there and play and execute, man. That's what it's going to all come down to.
Yes, the Bucs are a better team. 7-9. So don't look at the Washington record because they're not a good football team. They're really not.
Yeah.
On paper.
All right, Eric, man.
But the Bucs win. Bucs probably. I think the Bucs could put 50 points this week.
Yep, it's a possibility, man. All right, man. Well, you have a great rest of your day. Be sure to call us back next week.
Yeah, man. Biden Cannon. What's up, man?
All right. All right, man. So, as he was talking about, this Washington team, there's some good stuff in the chat. And I think Willie Graham said we didn't have a preseason, and I guess people, unless you play, and again, I want to ask you this question, for you, when you were playing and you guys had preseason workouts and stuff like that to prepare for the regular season, in your mind, how important was that for you, going into a season?
I mean, it's very important, but I guess I would equate this season to kind of being like a freshman. Like, you got to think of that. Like, for example, someone like Tom Brady or Rob Gronkowski or in the rookies all come in. They know jack shit. They don't know any of the language. They don't know anything. And everyone else is like a senior. Like, basically, they have to learn the ins and outs, the ropes, how to speak, how to understand just everything inside and out, which everyone just has a year leg up on them.
Right.
And it's so, I can't even describe to you how important it is, because for a lot of players, sometimes halfway through the season, it clicks. Or sometimes after their freshman year, it clicks. Or sometimes after their sophomore year. Sometimes it takes years before it finally clicks. And I don't want to say it happened in the past 4 games, but I think in the past 2, because I'm not going to throw the Detroit or not going to throw all of the Detroit Lions in there because, there was a lot of stuff to throw in there. But the last 4 games, it's just something's different. I only had to nitpick where we're talking about Byron Leftwich before the
Right.
caller called in. Like there was one play where he went 5 wide on a 2nd and 4 that I didn't like. He threw bubble screens on 1st and 10 when they're playing off on AB. And then they did it again. And then they did it again. And it worked. So why go away from it? Like Bruce Arians said last year, he doesn't like running the same pass play twice. Why not? They're giving it to you, take it. And that's what I think the mentality, something changed. Now, is it going to be perfect? Probably not. But something changed for the better. And that's why I hope.
And I think a bunch of things change. It's like that marriage we've talked about this, where Bruce Arians has what he in his concept, Tom Brady has his concept, and they've kind of married the two, to be honest. But I think I would lean more towards Tom Brady doing what's been more comfortable for him more than anything. And I got to say something real quick. This is our show. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I'm really pissed off that Rojo didn't get 1,000 yards.
Dude, I wanted him to get that more than Antonio Brown to get 250K.
But
like in front of Dirk Cutter, this man who gave up on you 3 years ago or 2 years ago, however long it was, gave up. Exactly. He gave up on you, and you could have rubbed it all in his fucking face, and I would have been there for it.
Yeah, and it would have been so nice too because and when Leonard Fournette is getting those carries, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, is he on a pitch count or something? Was Rojo on a pitch count or something like that?
I think he was. If we're going to be completely honest, I think he was.
But I think, but what's even more important is he's healthy going into the postseason, and that to me is the most important thing: is having this guy ready to go. I realize it's just an individual stat, but for all the hard work that this young man has done in the offseason and all the things that he's encountered, and here we are, and he's stayed in good health with the exception of the injury. I mean, I was so excited for him to get that 1,000 because he's earned it and he deserves it.
Yeah, I just wish he didn't have extra injuries throughout the year. Then he would have had probably 1,200 if he wasn't injured.
Yeah,
that's just the sad part of it.
Yeah, and I think he ended up with 1,200 yards, over 1,200, no, 1,100 and something yards
scrimmage.
From scrimmage. So, I mean, that's good, but he got over 1,000 last year with from scrimmage as well. So,
and I think he's going to be the guy next year. So I think next year he's going to go over 1,000. I don't think they're going to bring in a Leonard Fournette. I don't think they're going to draft a guy in the first round as much as T. Smitty would love us to get Alabama running back in the first round. I don't think it's going to happen.
So hindsight, we look back the armchair coaches. Would you have brought Leonard Fournette in? If you look at his body of work, what he's done, where he's been successful, like that game against Carolina, he cracked that game open. And I look at that particular play and I'm like, wow, I don't know how Tampa would have done if it hadn't been for that run. How would this team have fared? And then I look at some of the other games and the way he runs the ball, and I'm like underwhelmed by it.
Well, the only thing I can say about Fournette is it's the same reason why we got AB.
Right.
His insurance.
Yeah.
I think we paid him too much, if we're going to be frank. But I mean, at the end of the day, if Rojo wasn't playing, he's someone who could have a role. Like we could throw across the yard against everyone, and then he'd be the pound the rock in under 4 minutes. That's basically what his role is at this point.
Yeah. And when you look at the two runners, in my mind, when I see Fournette and I see Ronald Jones, I see Fournette as the battering ram and Ronald Jones is more the finesse. However,
I wish Fournette ran like that.
Jesus Christ, seeing this guy hit the hole, man. And Keyshawn Vaughn.
I didn't think he'd be this good. I mean,
I know.
Take away the fumble from Chicago. Do you think he gets more snaps this year?
Hell yes, without a doubt.
He had one fumble as a rookie on a weird play where he got destroyed, and I don't even think he got caught it, if we're going to be honest.
And to be very honest, he shouldn't have been put in that position.
No,
He
that
shouldn't
early, I don't think so.
No, he shouldn't have been put in that position. But again, it is what it is. I'm excited to see what he does next year. And just watching Rojo, Amazement 717. Rojo his run style is perfect for a game up in Lambeau if they play him.
Exactly. And that's what I think would happen, would need to happen in order for us to beat the Packers should we play them at any point.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that Joe Cool he can't wait to see Ndamukong Suh again, if that were the case. But that's my dream matchup right there, to see those two guys go head to head again.
Hopefully Sue doesn't step on any players.
Yeah. So when you're looking at this, and I was listening to the announcers for the Atlanta Falcons game, and they were talking about this team. Does this team burn it to the ground and rebuild everything, or do you keep Julio, or what can Bucs fans expect to see from Atlanta for next year?
Atlanta is in such a weird position. So basically, if you're going Spotrac, they have, I'm throwing out numbers right now. They're under, I think, or they're over the cap, like 25 million-ish. Don't hold me to that. But they only have like 30 players, 28 players signed to that. So like you could still, let's say, do something with the Matt Ryan contract, do something with the Julio contract.
Yeah.
But you still need like 30 players, dude.
Yeah.
Like, so like they're going to have talent, but they're not going to have it.
On record. This is my hot take, because I love the hot takes here, but I could see Julio in New England next year.
See, yeah, and that's the thing. It's a perfect fit, but do you think Bill does it? Do you think Bill's just be like, here's a first round pick?
I don't know, man, because
he doesn't even have a quarterback. Do you think he's going to spend that kind of draft capital if he doesn't even have a quarterback? Because Cam's not coming back.
No, he's not. But I don't. Again, I don't know what free agency is going to look like. I guess we should just kind of. But
they have money for free agents, but would they get a quarterback? Like, do they try to do a discount thing? Like, let's say they got a Darnold, for instance. They traded for him.
Yeah.
Maybe they have him. Then you bring in Julio. Then it's like, okay, like I could see it, but it depends on the quarterback before he does that. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's most definitely something that we could see. So again, and that phone number, the phone lines are available. I thought we were on a roll here for a little bit. 813-358-8154. Let's get somebody to call in here. Hey, Shooter in the Stash is up in the house. Shooter in the Stash, what's going on?
I thought he was banned.
No, this is playoffs. So anybody, I'm lifting a ban on people like him.
Okay.
All right, you have a caller. All right, you're live on Buck What You Heard. Who am I speaking with? Oh. You are live on Buck What You Heard. Who are we talking to? I've got the volume up this time. Oh, they hung up. Anyway.
No. As we were saying.
Clay Lynch says, let me put this up here. Why are we tripping so hard about the Washington football team? We're playing good football right now. I don't feel there will be much competition if we play the ball. Our O-line has stepped up big. Let's give them their credit. Yeah, 100%, man. This is the thing. If we're talking X's and O's, let's just look at it this way. The Buccaneers went into the bye, week 13 into the bye, and they beat everybody after the bye. And that right there doesn't really get talked about a lot. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went out there. Hey, what's going on? Give me 1 second. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers went out and beat all 4 teams. And that's what we need to be talking about. How many times have we watched the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go out and their destiny is in their hands and they screw it all up? How many times have we seen that? How many times have we been looking in October or November and the Bucs can do this, and this and get to the playoffs, and then they just blow everything? All right, who are we talking with?
Hey, I'm back again. But look at this. I had a couple questions for you for this offseason. What the Bucks could do.
Bro.
I have a couple theories because something just came in my mind.
All right.
I know you want to hear it.
I do. I'm dying to hear it, bro. Let's have it.
Well, look at it. Chris Godwin wants a lot of money this offseason. Well, we'll just keep AB and for cheaper. Plus, we got Tyler Johnson and Scotty Miller, and there we go.
Really?
You're not going to pay AB the kind of money that he's going to probably command. You'd rather just have a stable guy like Godwin in your locker room.
You don't think we'll take a discount again? Discount price?
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Well, look at it. Or just keep Scotty Miller and Tyler Johnson. Let's build them up.
I'm the Tyler Johnson stan in this chat right now, and he's not ready. I mean, like he's flashed. He's just not ready. He needs another offseason. I think he needs to be the number 3 guy next year, 4 guy with Scotty Miller having their roles, and then he can maybe take another step.
Yeah, it's possible. That's very possible.
Scotty Miller will be number 2 this year.
Yeah.
If Chris Godwin's gone.
No, Chris Godwin's staying. He's going to be franchise tagged at the absolute worst. You heard it here first.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, buddy.
All right.
That's awesome. That's good news. Okay, that's all I want to ask.
All right, man.
It was crazy.
All right.
Then we get rid of and AB's gone.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure how that's all going to work.
Well, let's focus on the now. We don't have to worry about the draft. We don't have to worry about free agency. We have a playoff game, y'all.
Yeah,
a playoff game.
Let's talk about this playoff game, man. What do the Bucs need to do? What are their keys to victory besides the offensive line keeping Brady upright? What are things that you saw in that Atlanta Falcons game that they need to work on, or that will help them?
I would say definitely. I mean, the number one thing I usually would say for a normal game is pass rush. But I think from what we've seen, I think the corners need to step up and have solid coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to say?
Oh, we got another caller. Hold on. All right, you're live on Buck What You Heard. Who are we talking with?
Hey, what's up, Gene? It's Frank.
Hey, Frank. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just excited going back to the playoffs. I remember the last time Bucks went to the playoffs when they're 11-5. 2005, 11-5 Bucks. So pretty excited,
Well, let's hear it, man. What are your thoughts on this game or the Falcons game or any of this?
I mean, playoffs with the Washington football team. They're gonna win this game. They have to win this game.
Yeah.
They cannot go one and done.
No.
I mean,
not after they worked this hard to get to the 5th seed. This game is a must-win game here, and not because it's a playoff. Game. Because now, would you consider this season a disappointment if the Buccaneers lost to the Washington Generals?
Man, that's a good one. Yes and no. Yes, because they made it. No, because they made it to the playoffs. But yes, because they would get eliminated in the first round. So
it would be a disappointment for me because you're playing down to your competition. Yeah. I mean, realistically,
right, that's true.
Realistically, if you compare who the Bucs have played, who Washington has played, and you just look at these two teams, and you look at their lineups. I mean, Tampa needs to win this game. That's all I can tell you. I mean, even if it's for momentum going into next year, the Bucs have to win this game. And I think if they want to advance, I'm not a head coach, but in my mind, if they want to advance deep into the playoffs, they have to be dominant in this game, and they need to carry that momentum on to the next game.
Correct. I think this should be fine. I saw the last game with Washington, and I mean, overall, they weren't moving the ball. Their offense was not getting the
Eagles tried to give them the game.
Yeah, either team.
Right, exactly.
I mean, did you watch that game?
I watched it, and I mean, I know
Nobody
Alex
wanted
Smith
to
is more of a
win.
game manager. Exactly, yeah. Nobody was. They were giving them game, and they only scored what, 17 points? Was it? I think I'm not. I forgot the score, but
Well, and that's with the
Yeah.
Eagles taking points off the board. They could have tied in instead of kicking
Right.
extra point to be down by 1. They fumbled like twice late. Like they did everything they possibly could to lose the game. They pulled their young quarterback for a nobody who did absolutely terrible and fumbled a snap. Like
right.
that tells you all you need to know. And they barely
So-
beat them.
So how excited are you to have Shaq Barrett back in the lineup?
I'm really excited. I mean, I saw that same thing. I saw that at tonight's game, and there wasn't really that much of a pass rush. So I think Shaq Barrett will have a better chance of getting to the quarterback.
Yep,
So,
he's gonna. I think he's gonna be a difference maker. You know
Yeah,
what?
he definitely will.
Some people it made you appreciate Shaq Barrett and what he's done throughout the season. Not having him in a game like this one here, and I do realize that it's Atlanta and they are a losing team, but you know you still got to go out there and play the game. And I feel like that pass rush was a little flat, and there should have been more.
Right.
There should have been more to that. I felt there were a couple of times that Matt Ryan should have been on his back, and it just didn't happen.
Right.
And he was able to scan the field. I like what they did with Calvin Ridley, though. You know, they did great. Clay Lynch mentioned Kevin Minter, who is another player that stepped up in the absence of a starter, Devin White, and I love how his play was. Again, he stepped in and did what he had to do, and you know this team came out with the win.
Right. So I'm glad. I think I have a lot of confidence in Tom Brady. He's a leader of men.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I strongly believe in the Tom Brady effect. I really do. I think that you know because you look at this team last year, and then you look at this year's team, and you're not expecting this team to lose. There are games that some of the games they lost, like the Rams game. I seriously expected the Bucs to win that game.
They were in it, and they had a really good chance to win that LA game. I remember that. They had a really good chance to tying it up or even winning it.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Well, let me get your final thoughts, man.
Bucs win 28-14.
28-14. I like it. I'm liking it. All right, man.
Win.
All right, so you barbecuing? Are you doing anything special for the playoffs?
No, just staying. Everything here in LA is locked down, so just staying home and watching the game, maybe ordering some food, and that's it.
Yeah, there you go, man. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Thanks,
I'm hoping you can call in next week and give us your thoughts, man.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I appreciate having you on. Having me on. Yeah.
All right, Frank, man, you take it easy.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right, that number is 813-358-8154. The line is opened. So, yep, Kevin Minter. As Clay Lynch mentioned about Kevin Minter, Mr. Everything's Bucks. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. All right, you're live on Buck What You Heard. Wait a minute. Did I miss the... Let's try this again. All right, you are live on Buck What You Heard. Who are we talking with?
Mr. Bucks, everything.
Mr. Bucks, everything. This man has been he's been a friend of the show since the beginning. It's the first time I'm actually getting to talk to you. I feel honored right now. And it's the playoffs too. And we've been through this. We've been through this war together.
Last year, around about the same
time. Right? So give me your thoughts, man. Let me hear from you.
I say this, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. The one thing that only scares me about Washington is the defensive line. That's it. And we already know Alex Smith is a game manager. He's not going to throw the ball down the field consistently. If you go back to remembering Alex Smith when he was with the Chiefs, he was never that throw it down the field quarterback. He was a game manager.
Right.
And at the time, the Chiefs had Priest Holmes, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey.
Right.
didn't explode those weapons like Mahomes is exploiting those same weapons right now, minus Priest Holmes. And plus, the Chiefs didn't have a defense back then. They was all offense and no defense.
Right.
Then they ran against a young Brady that was still in his prime. So now let's fast forward. Now Brady passed his prime, but still Brady can still throw it and sling it down the field with the right weapon.
Right.
Alex Smith, banged up, is not going to push that ball down. Their Redskins are actually going to rely a lot more on the running game and a lot of trickery plays, like we versus us playing the Saints. Now, I'm going to pose a question to you right here.
Please don't say Peyton
Was
Barber.
the Bears...
Go ahead.
Exactly. Was the Bears game a blessing for us by us losing that game now? Because now we don't have to play the Saints in the first round. Because if you would thought about it, if we would have won that game again, we would have been playing the Saints first round.
Honestly, I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to sound like, I'm not trying to sound like a homer. I think if the Bucs face the Saints, the Bucs will beat the Saints, and I'm going to tell you why. That second game was so poorly coached. That second meeting between the Bucs and the Saints was so poorly coached. I don't think anybody, you couldn't have had Superman out there and they would have won that game. I believe that you're looking at a totally different team. If you look at this team top to bottom, where they are now, how they performed since that Saints game up until now, I'll take this Bucs team to go in there and give them problems, and especially with everybody coming back healthy next week.
I agree, but this would be my thoughts this week here. I want to let Mike Evans sit out this week here. And the reason why I say I would let Mike sit out this week here, just to rest their knee for next week. I feel better going to Green Bay next week if we win this game here. And what would be a shocker this weekend if the Bears beat the Saints? All that dancing, all that showing off, all that like partying in the locker room. Oh Lord, I can't wait to hear it from the Saints fans if they lose to the Bears. I
got a whole list of memes lined up for them guys too. Just ready for when this happens.
I think the Bucs are playing the Saints next week.
I'm with you, man.
I think the Rams can beat the Seahawks. They have Jalen Ramsey who can match up against DK. Even if Goff doesn't play, the Seahawks defense is so bad. It's going to be a close game, but I mean, it's not really an away game. I mean, there's going to be no fans. They're staying on the West Coast. Like it's like a couple hour plane ride. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think that game is probably the most. I mean, don't get me wrong, but Bucs versus Washington's prime time. Yeah, it's the must-watch game. But I think that one, in terms of the NFC this weekend, is the game to watch.
Yeah, and to answer your question about Mike Evans, as I had a second to kind of think about
epiphany.
Mike Evans is a professional football player. He wants to be out on the field, and we've seen how he sacrificed a lot. Sacrifice catches and stuff like that to get to the playoffs. That's been the most important thing for him, is to be in the postseason. And I would find it very hard to believe that Mike Evans, if he had a choice to whether to sit or play, whether it would even be a conversation where he would be in there playing. And so, yeah, I understand what you're saying about resting his knee. But if Mike Evans is even 80% available, healthy, you're going to see him on the field. That's just how he's made up. That's his mindset.
Yeah, I think worst case they pitch count him. I mean, he's a leader. He's going to want to be out there. I mean, apparently he hasn't practiced yet, but apparently he might even be. I think 80% is too optimistic. Even if he's 60%, I feel like he can do enough. He can do some things. He can have a role. He might not be the number one guy on every single play. He might not be the X receiver in every single package, but like he will find a role, find something he can do, and do it adequately enough to help us in whatever that role is.
Yeah, and we saw Mike Evans early on in the season with the injury that he had, and he was still out there on the field. And that's
hobbling.
That's been our Achilles heel every year between Mike and Godwin with these hamstrings, playing them in games that then we'll lose them. And that's why I think I'd rather save him for later on in the playoffs because you don't really need him per se. Yes, you put him out there a couple of plays and you pitch count him a little bit, but he's not really a must that we really need him for Saturday, because I feel like a lot of teams are overlooking the fact that AB emerges in that offense.
Yep.
And just like what we said earlier, yes, us having the bye week was a blessing this year
Yes,
here,
yes,
because
where it
did us
fell.
some good. It did us some good because BA, Leftwich, and Brady had to have a sit-down conversation and get this playbook together. So
They
now,
weren't allowed to golf, so yeah, they had to get in the meeting room.
So now they're firing on all cylinders. I won't want to mess up the flow. If, like I
Understood.
said, in the late game last week, AB was running fine. Had 11 catches, had his biggest game as a Buck last week. Why interfere with it? Let them rely on AB. That's the whole reason why we brought him there. Just because of situations like this with Evans and Godwin.
You're absolutely
To
right.
have somebody else there to rely on to take that pressure off that number 2, number 3, number 4. Now, if AB wasn't there, now we'd be going in the game with Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson, and the other Grayson kid that he can run like lightning but can't catch a cold to save his life. So I'd rather have Mike Evans rest this week and just come back next week, prepare, and let's go ahead and go to Green Bay.
That's right.
I mean, I agree with you, but do you think BA's? I mean, I was going to say not stubborn enough. We all know he's stubborn as hell. Like, I don't think he's going to let Mike sit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and again, I'm with you. I would pitch count him too. Like what you're saying, I would pitch count him too, because I honestly have to believe that's what they did with Rojo last week, was pitch counted him, because I could just, the way he was running, it was like he was glad to be back out on the field the way he was running. And Mike Evans, you can't hold the man back, man. You can't hold him down. I think if it's up to him, he's going to be out on the field. So you guys all make compelling arguments, but at the end of the day, man, I think if it's possible, we do see Mike Evans out there.
We might see Mike Evans, but you know what? I'm gonna treat this, if I'm treating this like my job is on the line, and Black Friday can come for me Black Monday can come for me the next Monday. I'm going with my playoff horses.
Yep.
AB with this playoff experience that he has from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And we know how well he performed under the big lights in crucial moments for crucial catches. Nothing against Evans. This is Evans' first real year in the playoffs with no playoff experience, but he has a ton of experience for the regular season.
Yep.
But I say, again, don't knock on Evans. Evans, rest. Let AB take care of that load for you this 1 week right here.
Okay.
Let him take care of it.
Yep. I would totally understand. Well, hey, let me get your final thoughts before we get you out of here. And I want to thank you again for calling in. And please, I hope to hear from you next week, man. Win or lose.
Oh, you will.
All right. I'm sorry. Win or win. Sorry. Go ahead.
I would say, I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you both of my versions.
Uh-huh.
If we win, it's going to be 26-23. If we lose, it's going to be 21-17.
Mm-hmm.
If we lose. It's going to be a good game anyway, because I don't really feel like we're going to blow them out, but I feel like we can control the tempo of the game. As long as we control the tempo of the game and we don't get too pass happy crazy, and we use Rojo, Fournette, use all your backs in that game.
Yes.
Keep that Washington defense on the sideline.
Yeah.
Kill the clock. Play time management ball.
Yeah.
Go back old school. Because one thing Greg Jennings and all the rest of them guys said earlier this week, what's the number one thing you got to do in the playoffs? You got to be able to run the ball.
It's won and lost in the trenches.
All day long. We know we can pass all day long. But when we sit there and we shove this ball down your throat for 40 minutes, come fourth quarter, you ain't going to want to do nothing.
Yeah. You be ready to get on the sidelines, right?
Exactly. But if we sit up here and we act like we the old school Indianapolis Colts and want to score every 30 seconds,
there you go.
What you doing? You're killing yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You're killing your defense.
That's right. And all the teams that were successful ran the ball. Everybody in the postseason last year that ran the ball and controlled the game in the trenches were the dominant team always won, and that's what we saw. with Kansas City.
Unless the Chiefs was going to be my one outlier there.
Yeah, they finessed. They had that finesse. So, all right, man. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I really, really appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. No problem.
All right.
Talk to you guys
next week. All right. Let's see. Man, this is great, man. Getting these calls in. I am appreciating this. My man Nestor Cervantes, I gotta put this up here because you know me, I've been on the Allen, the Ryan Suckup apology tour because I meant to tell you, you know who the player of the week was.
But special teams. He doesn't suck, I'll tell you that.
All right, you are live on Buck What You Heard. Who we talking with?
This is Lewis, diehard Bucs fan.
Lewis, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Hey, you know what? I love talking to diehard Bucs fans. It's been a long time coming, brother, and we are in the playoffs. Let's talk about it.
We have made it. Okay, first thing, I love our running game against Washington defense. And another thing, I think a lot of people sleep on Donovan Smith and his protection. I like Donovan Smith against Chase Young because I think Chase Young will be on that side. But also, tell me when the last time Tristan Wirfs had gave up a sack.
Khalil Mack,
yep.
Exactly. So who on Washington team compared to Khalil Mack?
No one.
Nobody.
Exactly. So I'm not worried. Everybody's talking about the pass rush of Washington, but I'm confident in our offensive line. I'm very confident in Tristan Wirfs, and I do believe that a lot of people sleep on Donovan Smith.
And I said this earlier. I'm starting to warm up to him as a run blocker. I love what he does. I love what he does. Just as a pass blocker, he's inconsistent, and that's the part that scares me because Tom Brady is 43, and I know we bring that up a lot, but it just takes that one time, and you've got a disaster you're looking at. We kind of saw that with Jameis Winston last year, where there was that one play that Donovan Smith was being inconsistent on, and Jameis Winston was walking limp.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. He's got the physical tools to be a very good player. He's got it's just from the neck up. Sometimes he's just not consistent with what he does. But you could see him. But you watch him in run blocking, and he's a monster. Who did he body slam? He body slammed somebody. Who was that Donovan body slam last week? I can't remember who it was, but
I'm only thinking of Marcus Peters last year. I can't think of last week.
Okay, so there was a play. I'll have to see if I can find it. But I see him, and he has flashes, but he's just not consistent. And being inconsistent on an offensive line, protecting a quarterback like Tom Brady, it just scares me. And that's kind of where I'm now. I don't have all the confidence. I understand what you're saying. And just sometimes from the neck up, you just don't see it. And that's my observation of it.
Where my confidence come in is it's playoff time. Like we say, none of these guys, including Donovan Smith, hadn't had the opportunity to play in the playoffs. And I think everybody for Tampa Bay, they're coming and they're ready to play. I'm saying Donovan Smith, I include the whole offensive line and all the players, obviously, are ready to play. I think you're going to see Tampa Bay in a way that we have seen a little bit of in these last few weeks. We've seen them playing a different, especially on offense, a way that we haven't seen. I mean, Tom Brady is comfortable. The wide receivers are comfortable in the offensive scheme. So I'm gonna tell you now because I see that you've been asking the predictions before. Yeah. I believe this is my belief. I believe that we're gonna blow them out. I believe that. I believe that Tom Brady is here to prove and to show, and I believe we have all the weapons to show that Washington. Come on, man, y'all, you guys are not ready for Tampa offense.
I don't think they've seen a team like Tampa.
I agree, but I'll say this: if we put up 14 points, I believe our defense will hold them to no points, maybe a field goal. If that, I don't see them scoring many points on us. If anything, I don't see them scoring more than 10 points against our defense because and I want to bring this up before I go. I watched the E60 on Alex Smith, and that story really got to me a little bit. So I want to see him do good,
Yeah.
but I know against that Todd Bowles assault, he ain't got a chance.
Yeah.
Imagine if Devin White was coming on a blitz to Alex Smith. Like that to him would have to be the scariest thing ever.
Oh, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't. I'm confident with Kevin Mentor, but I really wish we had Devin White playing. But another thing I wanted to bring up, JPP got to see what Shaq Barrett meant to him this last week.
I think Bucs fans did too. And the reason I say this is there were people grumbling about Shaq Barrett not getting sacks throughout the year. But I always say sacks are sexy, but pressures are just as beautiful, So
exactly.
So, what Shaq Barrett was doing on defense, you couldn't really put a statistic to it or a real metric to it, but he was still beneficial in helping this defense be successful.
Exactly. And I think our pass was going to be a lot stronger now that we have Shaq Barrett back. And obviously minus Devin White, but watch what JPP is able to do now that we have Shaq Barrett back. To all the fans out there, we didn't see the Pro Bowler JPP perform to what he's been able to do all season because Shaq Barrett wasn't there to bring that pressure from the other side. But now that Shaq is back, and I know he's going to be hungry and happy to be in the playoff, watch that pass rush this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because he ain't going to be upright for too long.
Exactly. It's gonna be a hard time for Alex Smith or whoever the backup quarterback. I really, if they put him in, it's gonna be a lot of trouble. This is just my opinion. But I love our defense against Washington's offense, and I love our offense against, even though they have Chase Young and Swift on the other side.
Yeah,
the ball coming out fast. And I do agree with what Buddy was saying, the previous caller, about sitting Mike Evans, even though we need Mike Evans, but let him rest because I think we'll go ahead and take this game over, and we need Mike Evans against Green Bay if that's who we end up playing.
Yeah, or whoever we play in the second round, that's what we want to see.
Exactly.
My friend, thank you so much for calling in. Can I count on you to call next week?
Definitely, man. I guess it's my first time watching our show, but I'll definitely be calling in again.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys.
All right, there you
go.
go.
A lot of fans don't want Mike to play. I just find that, I'm not saying they're right or wrong, because I would love him to either be pitch counter or not play, but I just don't see how he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'm just surprised to hear people saying that they don't want him to play.
Rock 813, that was Ali Marpet that that was Ali Marpet. Yeah.
He rock bottomed someone. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that was the 3D, man. That was straight from the Dudley boys that threw a table. There's lucky there wasn't a table there because you'd have went through it.
Oh, Bubba Ray and Devon, right? Oh, yeah, I remember them. Okay, good. I just had to make sure.
So, everybody's talking about AB, and I like that he's getting the love. And let me find that. Let me get that chat back up here because I want to talk about. Oh, we got a caller calling in all the way from Michigan. Nice. All right, you are live on Buck What You Heard. Who are we speaking with?
This is Raphael.
Hey, Raphael, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. Hey, playoffs, man. Let's talk about it.
Best time ever, man. We waited a long time, huh?
Yeah, it's been but it's worth it right now. If you think about all those years that at the end of the season, like me, and I can give you a good example, losing to Atlanta at the end of last season, I was pissed going into the off season. Oh, I was mad. I was furious because Atlanta and Dallas, if you guys don't know, if you've never watched my show, Atlanta and Dallas are like this. This is Dallas, or this Atlanta, and this is Dallas. So that's just what I think of those two teams. I can't stand either team. But for the Bucs to lose to these guys, it was just it was frustrating. It just
Do you dislike Dallas more than some of our division rivals?
Yeah, actually,
except the Saints. Do you hate more Dallas or the Saints?
That's real close.
Oh, to me, it's the Saints.
Really?
Yeah, it really
why
is.
Why do you hate Dallas so much, man?
Just that fan base has just been a bane of my existence since I was like maybe 12.
See, I just hate that they get.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, man.
America's team, America's toilet.
That's the 1 star you see on the Amazon review right there. What that is. Stupid ass star.
That's a good one, man. I never heard.
That's a really good one. I've never heard that either.
That's
So,
actually real good.
I don't know. But again, this game right here, I mean, kind of getting back to the offseason a little bit. I didn't expect for the Bucs to be where they are right now. And be honest, 100% honest with you, I didn't see this coming. When I heard about Tom Brady coming to Tampa, I was indifferent. And people tease me about it. They're like, "Oh, remember how you felt about Tom Brady?" Tom Brady made a believer out of me. And like we were talking about the Chargers game. And I was like, I was on the fence. And then the Chargers game, I saw what he did, and I'm like, wow, we haven't had this in Tampa ever. I was trying to think of a quarterback that I can't compare anybody. So basically,
he's a winner, man.
Yeah,
the guy's a winner,
and his whole demeanor, his mentality, what he brings to a team, he brought all that in, and he's just made this. He's made this team believe. Everybody's bought into it,
right?
And there are players that have been on this team for a long time, like Levante David, that are getting their just due now. People are starting to realize who they are, and all that's come with Tom Brady being here. And even in the fans, even you got fans that used to be New England fans that are coming over and now they're Bucs fans. And this is another thing that's really exciting to see too, is just the fan base. And anywhere you go, anywhere you go in the United States right now, if you're wearing Bucs gear, somebody's going to want to talk to you at some point about your team just because Tom Brady's here.
I'm in Michigan, so I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like people dislike quote unquote bandwagons, but I like it. If you're gonna root for my team, I'm never gonna hate on you, man. No matter what, whether you're a Tom Brady fan before, right? You're rooting for my team. You want my team to win. I'm not gonna make fun of your hate on you, man. I don't care if you're just recently started becoming a Bucs fan because you're a big Tom Brady fan.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Just don't wear that jersey in the stadium, that New England Patriot jersey. Just get yourself a Brady Bucs jersey. That's all I ask. That's all.
Yeah, don't do that. That's a no-no.
Tampa has the best logos, the best jerseys. I mean,
I love the upgrades.
I'm trying to think of somebody. They had this competition a couple of years ago of the best logos in the NFL, and I'm trying to think who ended up winning that. I think it was Seattle ended up winning.
I think Seattle, because they had the jerseys too that everyone loved, especially at the time.
But
that wasn't the Browns?
No. The COVID Browns? No. It wasn't the COVID Browns.
Or the Bears?
So let me get your predictions. Let me get your predictions on the game, man.
So, man, I am nervous, but I'm confident too that our team's going to pull it off. I really do wish that we had Devin White, because with Devin White, I think no matter what, there's no way that offense, whether they have Alex Smith or the Heineke guy.
Yeah.
If we had Devin White, I'd be a lot more confident, because Devin White's just a monster, man. The dude is a stud. So, but I am very confident. We still have an awesome defense when we're clicking, and I do think we're gonna step up. I think our defense is gonna step up big time. So I don't think Washington's offense is gonna be able to do much. Although, look, they're a playoff team, whether their record's 1-15 or 16-0.
Yeah,
they're a playoff team. We got to take them serious,
Right.
I think we are gonna be able to stop them on defense. Donovan Smith has to step up this game.
Yeah,
he steps up if he protects them. Our O-line as a whole has to step up this game. We are going to be good on offense. They're not going to be able to stop us. So my prediction is that we win. I think we're going to put up 34 points on them, to be honest.
Wow, I think you're the second or third person to talk about in the 30s.
I do. I think it's going to be 34 to 20.
Wow.
But I think we're seeing a theme, though. I think everyone who's picking the Bucs to win has them scoring more than 21. I think 21's that cutoff line. If they score anything less than that, fans are not going to be happy. And I think that if they do score more than 21, I think they have like a 99% chance of winning this game as well.
Man, did you hear about the Cleveland Browns? Jedrick Wills and Rashard Higgins were drag racing Tuesday morning.
No,
they got cited for it. Man, what the hell's wrong with people, man? I don't know. I don't want to sound like the old get off my lawn guy, but come on, man. I mean, you're in the NFL. You got you're in the playoffs for the first time in who knows how long. Years.
Yeah, he's a rookie. It's not like he's got like money. Like, let's be real. Like he's not driving.
So it was Jedrick Wills, the tackle. I remember the draft. Everybody in Bucs Nation wanted Jedrick Wills to come to Tampa.
Oh yeah. I to be honest, I wanted Jedrick Wills too.
Yeah.
Who was it though? It was him and
Rashard Higgins. Rashard Higgins was the other one.
Oh man.
So
that's not good at all. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why?
But hopefully, it's a non-violent offense. He'll probably get a slap on the wrist. Won't be anything major behind it. But again, man,
it won't be. But
my thing is we're in a pandemic, and we've seen this. We've been on the business end of this. Fortunately, not that bad with Devin White and with Shaq Barrett, and this team has not been to the playoffs in I don't know how long. I mean, you got to come in and take care of business. You got the whole rest of the offseason to do whatever, or if that's the way you're going to go. But come on, you're in the home stretch. You got to take care of business.
Of course, man. Going back to the Bucs, though, man, I'm going to be screaming on the top of my lungs. You guys, obviously, you guys are huge Bucs fans too. So, such an exciting time. I just really hope that we can execute.
Yeah,
dude, if we go to the Super Bowl. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't really cry about things, but I might shed a tear or two.
I cried like a baby when Ronnie Barber shut down the dump. I was in tears. I was drunk, but I was still in tears nonetheless. And it was like the greatest because I gave myself a beer bath. I was just like spraying beer everywhere because I never experienced this emotion that came over me, and it was incredible. But
I feel old.
I
was in second grade.
I want you guys to know I will be watching the game live. We'll have YouTube up.
Right.
Oh, you mean you'll be doing it live? Gotcha.
I'll have YouTube up. And if you guys are really adventurous, I'll give you the link and you can get on here and give your thoughts and sit around and watch the game for a little bit. So I do offer that. I offer that invitation to you guys.
I just want to say one thing too.
Yes, sir.
We got to give credit to Jason Light.
Amen.
Even though, look, I don't know. I still can't forgive him because of
the kicker
trading up to draft a kicker. Not only did he draft him in the second round, he drafted basically in the second and third round because it was a third round pick that he got rid of, right? Straight up.
You know what? I beg forgiveness only because I think about Mike Evans. I think about Tristan Wirfs, who we've just seen, Vita Vea, we've just seen, Devin White, even Quan Alexander when he was here and he was healthy, he was playing good. I feel like Jason Light drafts in a vacuum. I'm not excusing what he did, or we can even talk about the 2016 season, but you look at players that he's been able to bring in, and you compare his body of work to that idiot Mark Dominic or that other idiot Bruce Allen, and you lay their body of work right next to each other, and I think none of them can really compare to my guy Rich McKay. Unfortunately, he's over with the Evil Empire, but that man is the gold standard to me, in my opinion, for general managers as far as the Bucs go. I would put Jason Light up there too. Jason Light has had 2 knockout drafts in a row. He just has. And
he hits on the early picks. Which would you rather have them hit on first and second round? I mean, not really second round until recently, but first round picks, or have them hit on fourth and fifth round picks? I'm happy that he hits on the first round pick.
yeah, and he does. He gets some of those guys that you could still use. I mean, look at you had
what's that LSU linebacker who his name always escapes me with the car accident.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He was supposed to be really. He was
really good.
He was really good. God, what is? And he hurt his foot. He messed up his foot. God.
Did we draft
Kendall Beckwith? Because I had
to me that was still a draft win. I mean, you can't help a guy getting in a car accident.
Yeah, because I was on the Kendall Beckwith apology tour at that time too.
I didn't know that he got in a car accident.
Yeah, that's what.
In Louisiana, he got in a car accident. His ankle basically did what Dax did, and he just could never recover.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man! God, he was good.
Yeah,
he was out there.
Yeah, and there's just no telling what his potential would have been.
Don't tell anyone, but he was playing better than Quan was.
Yeah. Oh, that guy would continually go rogue. He was always going rogue somewhere, and that's for we say that for another time. We're talking playoffs here, so let me get your prediction, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and roll out of here.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I just think 34-20. I think that's going to be the score, man.
Another one, like as soon as the Bucs score 21, it's just like dub.
Yep.
You know?
Right. Who do we play next? Is it the Packers for sure?
It depends on the seeding. So it's if anyone beats the higher seed behind us. So if the Rams or the Bears win, they would play the Packers, and then we would play the Saints, depending on unless there's three. In which case, if the Bucs, Rams, and Bears win, we would host the Rams at Ray J. So there's all your scenarios for you.
I didn't realize.
Wow.
I didn't realize Justin Evans got released. I guess he was just
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, God, another talented kid that just never recovered.
Let me ask you guys this before I head out.
Okay.
If the Bucs were to play the Saints again next round, what would you guys think? What's your prediction on that? What's your opinions on that?
I'm sorry. I'm just a homer. I think the Bucs will beat them. I do.
I want to wait till the NFC Championship game before I see them personally. I want them to like we've seen with the Saints. It's kind of like the longer they go, it's just a matter of time before they fall apart in the playoffs. Yeah. And I want Drew Brees to get beaten around a little bit, and then before he faces us is what I want. Like I want him to go through Khalil Mack, and then I want him to go through Aaron Donald. That's what I want.
Yeah, that would be lovely. That would make me so happy. All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Hopefully, I can count on you to call in next week.
I'll try, man. Usually, I'm working. Today's one of my rare days off, but I'm always tuning in, even at work, man. Even when I can't talk, but I will try for sure, brother.
Enjoy it.
Thank you, man.
Enjoy the day off, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Well, God, we have been on here for over an hour, bro. It's crazy.
It's beautiful.
I tell you what. Let me throw in a commercial. I gotta pay some bills, man. I haven't paid any bills.
Pay some bills.
I gotta pay some bills, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit more before we get up out of here. So stick with us, guys, and we'll be back.
Going solar with 320 may cost you nothing down, but the work we do is not a $0 job. With a 10-year roof penetration warranty and solar panels guaranteed for 25 years, you can have peace of mind knowing we will do the job right every time without question. .320 Solar. Power up.
All right. Shout out to 320 Solar. I appreciate you guys and everything you do. You guys are great. Looking at the injury report, just real quick, it looks like Jeremiah Ledbetter is questionable. Carlton Davis. Has anybody heard anything on Carlton Davis? Are we sure that do we know what's going to happen with him, or?
Last I saw, Stroud and Almond said that they didn't see him, but remember, the media's only out there for the first 15, 20 minutes, which is just stretching and bullshit. So, like, I don't know how it's him and Mike. They just have to practice basically by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, that's the telltale day is tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I'm good with that. So we got a lot of people, and guys, the phone lines are open. We'll be on here for a few more minutes. I know Keith is probably ready to kick me off of here, but we'll have some fun with this. I appreciate this. We don't get to talk playoffs. I mean, guys, this is something we got to get used to this. It's one of those things. I want this to be every year thing, where we're talking about playoffs. So that's what's up. Andy Finley, what's going on, man? We beat the Saints. We beat the Aints. Third time's the charm. Plus, we're playing better football. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, this team looks way better than the last Bucs team that faced them. So, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. The only thing I'm afraid of the Saints is Trey Hendrickson is like their pass rush against our offensive line. I think we do well in the run game, but passing's kind of hard on the Saints. And then also with the defense just giving up those extra 2, 3, 4 yards on these obvious dump off passes that just help Drew Brees get a first down. That's the only thing that I'm worried about.
I think that the Bucs have, somebody said Dylan Vaughn said come a long way since week 9, and I'm right there with you, man. That's kind of how I feel about it. That team can be beat. I think that the Bucs have the personnel to do it. Just honestly, if they could just figure out a way to stop Taysom Hill, which it just boggles my mind that people don't figure out a way to stop that guy. So here's what it is. T. Smitty, what's happening, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, I'm good, man. We're talking playoffs and Ohio State getting ready to wax that tail and. I'm just putting that out there. Oh, sorry. I forgot you're an Alabama fan. I forgot about this. Sorry, man. Sorry.
All I know is that if Alabama loses, I'm blocking Gene. That's all I got to say.
No, who you should block is Nick Saban's wife. Did you see that tweet?
Yeah, his daughter was
or daughter. Excuse me. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, we know what that phone call said. Dad, she knew what was up.
Hey. So we're in the playoffs, man. What are you thinking?
Oh, wow. I knew they would get there. Here's the thing I think about this, right? This is all about matchups. And first when I saw the playoff field, first thing crossed my mind, well, I bet Sean McVay probably likes John Walford more than he does Jared Goff. God. Man, they need to go ahead and eat that cap money. Just get rid of them. But I think that
they're gonna die on that hill. They're gonna die on that hill, bro.
Yeah, like Washington, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chase Young people making too much of this.
Yeah.
He's just a young kid. He didn't say Tom Brady sucks. He didn't say old man. That's just normal. Anyone who plays sports know that's just normal banter anyway.
Yeah.
And let's just be honest. Tom Brady, we don't know if Chase. I know they're supposed to play next year, but somebody may be hurt, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this may be his only shot to even go against Tom Brady. And so he's excited and everything. But honestly, Alex Smith, he's done. He can't move. So I think that pressure will get him because if anybody watch, he don't want to get hit nowhere near that leg.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. Yeah. And he doesn't push he didn't push the ball downfield when he was healthy.
Right.
So you already know he can't push it now. And so, but I think the Washington defense is going to do what they can because people look at the outside. It's all about Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne on the inside. But the Bucs middle has been great and improved over the past 2 years as well. So I think Washington defense is going to play them tough for a half, but the dam's going to break because Washington offense sucks, and the Bucs are going to take advantage.
Yeah, and I think you got to be dominant. And tell me if I'm wrong here. And again, I said this earlier, but do you feel like this team has to come in and be dominant and take that momentum into the next game.
Here's the thing I think about this, right? This is where I think having a Brady works here. A coach can say one thing, but you got players, even like a JPP on the other side, because you got a lot of your young guys on defense, and they see Washington's offense. I think a JPP is going to say, hey, we need to lay the wood on these guys early. Even the offense, go up 2 scores early. Because this team can't make up a 2-score lead. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the Washington can't make it up. So the Bucs is imperative. They jump out early. But there's only one thing that may hurt the Bucs in this game. It's supposed to get a lot of rain and snow during the weekend there. And you know that field looks like project grass, like I said. That could be the only thing that may slow them up. And at the Bucs, I think they should do this. I know Arians hates it. I know Brady's probably not the biggest fan of it. Feed Rojo the ball. It's the playoffs. It's cold outside.
Thank you.
Give him 25+ carries.
Thank you.
That's what you do. And don't give me a rotation Leonard Fournette. Give this guy 25 carries, and when he's tired, you put in Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Or the Keyshawn Vaughn kid.
Yeah.
That's when you do the running back switch, in my opinion. Ride this kid.
Yeah.
Because get this, Gene, KB. He would have had his 1,000 yards and BA would have fed him.
Yep.
And you know that 1,000 yards come up during contract time.
Yep.
You know?
But, you know, he earned it. I mean, all the hard work he did in the offseason, like I said, he earned it. And to me, that's what it all comes back to. And like KB made up a great point here. I would have been the biggest middle finger to Dirk Cutter, the guy that gave up on him, left him for dead his rookie year. That would have been the biggest middle finger to that guy that you could just give him.
You know what the sad part about that is? The team sucked that year. So what did you have to lose to just feed him the ball? They were 5-11.
Peyton Barber revenge game on Saturday, boys.
Dude, don't say that.
You know
don't
what?
say that. Don't say that. No.
I don't think it'd be a revenge game, but I am happy for him that he got to listen to another team and just keep making money.
I thought he was going to be buried on the depth chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy for him because, like, even though former Bucs, some of those guys just like, like Peyton Barber. Yeah, he ain't the most talented guy, but he worked his ass off, you know.
Yeah, he's got a learning disability. A lot of people don't know that about him. He's dyslexic.
Yeah, and he squeezed every bit of juice out of that orange. He just didn't have it, but hey,
but he got the opportunity.
Stick around.
Yep, he got the opportunity. He made the most of it. Well, T. Smitty, you got to call in earlier next time, man. We're about to roll up out of here because I think we're pushing up against Peter Blake here at 9 p.m. So.
Oh, no problem, man. Hey, I'll call in during the game, man. But
I will be watching the game live. So call in, and I'll send you the link. If you want to come on, you can do that too. Make yourself at home.
And I'll say this real quick. I think the Bucs need to just blitz the hell out of Alex Smith or Mr. Heineken, whatever his name is, because just blitz them, put pressure on him, because that's why Alex Smith is the Mr. Touchdown interception ratio overrated. Go what the hell he wants.
Yeah.
You know, but like I say, just pressure them. Do not let these guys believe, because anyone could slip on the field and it's a pick. You can just drop a ball of the fumble, a scoop and score.
Yep.
Put them away early and don't mess around. But hey, you guys have a good one, and I'll check in, man. And keep up the great work, fellas.
All right, man. You guys, take it easy. Hey guys, we are about to be out of here. Nestor Cervantes theme song. Okay, yeah, we you know what? Let's roll out with the theme song. Let's do that just because he requested it. So I guess we're gonna roll up out of here. And once again, I'm Gene, and this is
KB.
That's right. Gonna roll out to a little bit about what you heard here.